I always thought it would be cool if you could go back and listen to the day-to-day of today's highest achievers as it happened, as opposed to 30 years later after they've made it. I believe there's a giant disconnect between ground zero and the top floor because we only see the top floor and the top floor only talks about the top. You know, how valuable would that be? And so it goes without saying, but I believe I'll make it there. And this is the documented journey through each level. My name is Bryson Sessions, and you are listening to the Bed Podcast. I would like to start the show off by saying the band Lorna Shore is absolutely incredible. So if you like that kind of music, if you like metal and shit like that, then go check them out. But if you don't, then don't listen to them. So anyway, it's crazy, I know. I actually wrote down some ideas of what to talk about today. It's the first time I've done that since the pre 100 days. So episode 1 through 100, I tried to do a lot of different things. I tried to timestamp. I tried to write what I was going to talk about before I started talking. Try to write it all down and get organized. I tried a lot of different things, man. And it's funny because I can only think of 2. So yeah, that's a ton. Yeah. A lot of things, Bryson. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about the 75 hard guy, the metals idea, deep focus, the 3-topic structure for podcast, the bloopers at the end, the fitness podcast, and then the social media strategy. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I think it's actually going to be a lot quicker than I anticipate it being because I'm trying to go to the gym, and this is the one thing that I wanted to do before I hit the gym. So anyway, it's June 21st, 10:37 a.m. It's, Friday, June 21st, 10:37, 2024. Right. Okay. So yesterday while I was at the gym, I was wearing my 75 hard shirt, and some guy, he just got done at the chest press machine, and I look up at him and I kind of point like, "Hey, are you done?" You know that bullshit everybody does, like you're not even saying anything, but you're just kind of pointing, but you're like, and then other person looks at you like, oh, and they put the thumbs up, meaning like, "Oh, you're good to go," kind of thing, or they do like that with their fingers or something like that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. So I gave him the, and he says, and so the chest press machine was good to go because there was no weight on it. It looked like it had just been wiped down. So if I would have just waited 30 seconds for some context clues, I would have seen that it was available. But anyway, I do that. He looks at me and he points at me with a half smile. And I was like, was he pointing to me or was he pointing to the guy behind me? I did the thing where I looked behind me to see if maybe his buddy was right there, but there's nobody there. So whatever. So I start putting my stuff down by the machine. I have my backpack, my water bottle. I put it down. I double check my phone to make sure the amount of sets and reps that I need to do because I'm doing my own program that I will be then putting into the coaching bundle later. So I look at my phone. I look up and it's the same guy. And he goes, "Hey, is that 75 hard?" He's pointing to my shirt. And so for some context, I'm wearing a black shirt. It's got the 75 hard spade logo on the front. That's all that's on the front. On the back, it says something. I can't remember. But he says, "Is that 75 hard?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, are you doing it?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he pulls out his phone, shows me that he's on day 37. And I'm like, "Dude, this is so awesome. Dude, congrats. This is fucking sick. How do you like it so far?" We started talking about it. And former Navy, let's see. What did he say? Well, I guess he served in the Navy because his name was Nick. Dude, I know so many Nicks now. It's crazy. I know 3, but 4. I know 4. Anyway, so he's like, "Yeah, I served in the Navy. You remember my name, Navy Nick?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Fucking thank you for your service, my boy." But anyway, we started talking about the program, and he was like, "So what day are you on?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm actually about to start phase 3 of Live Hard. You know what Live Hard is, right?" He's like, yeah, the 3 phase, yeah. I was like, "Yeah." So I start that next Saturday. Actually, it's almost my 1-year mark, and we just started talking about the program. We started talking about what he finds hard, what I find hard. The gap between. It was just so cool, dude, to meet somebody else who's just doing the shit. Just some stranger who, for me, it was like I met a random stranger out there who's got a very similar mentality as I do as far as personal growth and pushing themselves to grow and be better. So just random guy. And if I had to guess, maybe he's, I don't know, late 30s, early 40s. I have no idea. He looks like he had a little bit of gray in his beard, but he was a very fit, was ripped as shit, very fit guy. So anyway, really cool. Just cool to see that shit and have the interaction. Another thing is it's so cool because we wouldn't have had that interaction. We wouldn't have crossed paths in that regard if we both weren't pursuing the same goal, which is 75 hard, which means we want to be better. So we wouldn't have crossed paths if we both didn't have a desire to be better. And I just think that's so cool. The amount of people, and that's proof right there. I just got chills thinking about this. It's proof right there that if you just focus on what you want to do and to build and develop and whatever, for me, that's like self-growth and personal development, stuff like that. Said the same thing twice. Great. You'll just inevitably find those people who are on the similar path, because right now at the starting point, it's a big crowd of people and there's millions of different paths you can take and thousands of people are on each of those paths. But with time, people fall off those paths, and then there's less and less and less of people on each individual path that you start out with. So if you have a billion people and there's a million paths, maybe, I don't know, a year down the road, there's only 100,000 people on those paths. And then 4 years later, there's only 1,000 people on those paths. And if you're still trekking along that one pathway, the people that are around you at that point are going to be people who you desire to be with, people who have the same goals, similar mentalities, whatever. So as long as you stay on that path, you'll inevitably and eventually find other people with the same shit going on. So I'm trying to say, and those are the kind of people that you want to be with anyway. So it's just a cool thing. I just wanted to share that. It's so cool to me. So shout out to 75 Hard Navy Knit guy. So this is very random, but we're going to transition to something else. So with the coaching program, with the people joining the program, I'm trying to develop some sort of medal, MEDAL system, and some kind of award status, I don't know, system, I guess. And that would be displayed on their transformation photo for all to see, so everybody could see those symbols and say, and there would be explanations as to what each medal is, how they achieved it. Every time a client would earn a medal, it would be posted on social media as a status symbol to show others that this person's a badass. And what I mean by that, so I have this idea paper here. So for example, there's a daily check-in. It takes less than 60 seconds to complete, and it's just a way to show compliance. So one idea is, and this is a lot less cool, so give me a sec, but the compliance medal, you'd get one for maybe, 20 days in a row. Haven't missed one day in 20 days. And then there'd be one for 50, then maybe one for 100, then maybe one for the entire program. You didn't miss one single compliance check-in. And so then at the very end of the day, we would be awarded this medal. Let's be honest here. This medal doesn't mean shit to anybody except people who know what it is. It's just a status symbol for people in the program and for people aspiring to join the program. And it's just a way of recognizing the people that work their ass off within the program, that I see this, they earned this little thing within the program. And yeah, there's no monetary value. There's no significance other than 2 people in the program. So that 8 times, but that's it. So because status means a lot to people. It means a lot to me. I'd like to have a high status. So anyway, so there's one for compliance. There's one for workouts. So let's say you get 20 workouts in a row, you get a medal. And that's not like a congratulations, you earned this because you just followed. No, it's like, hey, you did 20 workouts in a row. You didn't bitch. You didn't quit. You followed through. Like, you need to be recognized for this in the program. No wonder why you got results, because you adhered to the program. And then you have one for 50, and you have one for the entire program, meaning the entire program, you didn't miss one workout, nothing, you followed through perfectly. And the idea with that is the person that's going to have the before and after photo, they're going to have that medal. So I want you to think about this. Think about, you go to a website and you have the tabs at the top. You can click on client transformations or something like that. You click on that and it has a big wall of the people who have joined the program, seen results, and they join the wall of fame, if you want to call it that. So every client testimonial goes on there with the before and after. So you have a side by side, and then underneath that you'll have like the start date, weight, all that stuff. But then below that, so think of a large rectangle. You'll have all the medals that they earned in the program. And if you hover your mouse over it or you tap on it, it'll say they were awarded the workout 5 medal. We'll just call it for easy reference. That means that they didn't miss a single workout in the entire program. And then so somebody looking at that can be like, oh, wow, so this person got these results. Let me rephrase that. This person didn't miss a single workout throughout the whole program, and they got these results. Okay, well, if I can just hit every single, it's just social proof. It's like, wow, so Bobby from Connecticut can do this. Looks like Cliff from Kentucky. What did I say? I don't know, bro. Looks like Clancy from Canada. Okay, we got Clancy from Canada doing this, so he's fine. He did it. Actually, Clancy over here, he missed a workout, so he didn't get the workout 5 medal. He got the workout 4, but he still got great results. So that's the idea. So we have one for compliance, a workout, water, nutrition, discipline, the blocks of phases of the program. A lot of these would just be kind of like milestones. They wouldn't be necessarily medals, but it's more like, hey, this person in the group at the moment has block 1 milestone, which means he has completed block 1, means he made it through phase 1 and 2 of the program. He's now on phase 3 and 4 and on to block 2. So it's just a milestone, not necessarily that. If that were a medal, that'd be participation, because all you have to do is just stay alive for 29 days to be on phase 3 and 4, which is block 2. And then we have the program completion, and then this is up in the air still, but there's the integration of 75 hard, which would be a golden spade on there'd be a medal or something like that. And for those who don't really understand the vision of medals, think about military rankings, think about Call of Duty prestige symbols, think about just rankings in general. It starts off with like just a normal X or something like that, and then the next time you do something, you get an X, and maybe there's Roman numerals 2 at the bottom. And maybe the next time there's an X with some kind of skull in the middle, and then there's Roman numeral 3, and then so on and so forth. And the symbol just adds and adds and adds, and it gets better and more badass looking. And by the end of it, it's the coolest fucking logo. And everybody knows that logo means you're a hard ass and you grinded your life away playing Call of Duty, right? That's the whole idea. But in the context of fitness and bettering yourself. And all this is based off of the honor system. So somebody could totally lie and get these. But hopefully, if you listen to my shit, you know that integrity is a huge thing. And that if you're part of the program, if you get caught lying to get these medals, dude, you're out of the program. That's it. So anyway, those are the medal ideas that I have at the moment. And this is just an idea. I mean, might not even do it because there's a lot of things that I have to figure out. But there's no harm in ever writing ideas down, trying to elaborate on them, and trying to develop them. Because along the way, you might find something else out as a byproduct of trying to figure out a solution to something. So anyway, and so the goal is, so they sign up for the program, they get a list or a. So hold on. So backtrack a little bit. This in a way is kind of like a gamification of the program, which means they have things to look forward to, things to achieve in every department. So it's not just here's your workout program, here's your nutrition plan, see you next week. It's like, hey, you have all these things that you can work toward. Any which way, any which direction you want to go, you're going to make progress, you're going to see results. So may as well just chip out a little bit of both. And it really is as simple as just following the program and doing what's laid out before you, because you'll achieve every single one of these medals if you do that. And so when I say it out loud like that, it's like, well, maybe these aren't going to be that special. So I have to figure out a way to add some difficulty to them. But again, it's just an idea. And maybe it's a shitty idea. I don't know. I don't care. I like writing my shit down. So I literally have a piece of paper here, pieces of paper. At the top, it says ideas. And I have, 10 ideas written down. And I do that, like the second I have an idea that I deem is valuable and something that could lead on to something, I write it down and I try to write down the details. And that way I have them and I can look back and be like, oh, that's like, maybe I was thinking of something else because that's a shitty idea or whatever. But it just captures all my thoughts. So anyway, that's the whole medal system. So the goal would be when they sign up for the program, I would say, hey, here's all the medals you can achieve. Here's the little badges or the symbols or whatever, just the status recognition. Each time you achieve one of these, I'll put it on social media to show everybody else, including your friends and family, that you're a hard ass and you did all these workouts, you drank all this water, you followed your nutrition plan perfectly, and you're on phase 9 of the program. And you've also lost 10 pounds. So there'll be medals for, I'm going to write that down. Weight lost or gained. So they would get a medal that would say, it would have a pound or something like that on it. And it would have 10. I don't know, dude. Who knows? But the symbol would be cool. It'd be all glossy and gradient-esque, you know. It would be just looking cool. And it would be like a little thing that they could post on their social media or whatever to show others that they are doing their thing. They're getting the results. They're getting, you know. And also it's a double, it's a win-win. So they get to show off. They get to be proud. They get to, you know, kind of brag to their homies that they're kicking ass. I get free advertisement for that because I'll have my logo. I'll have like a sign up today or something like that. It'll be very, very subtle because the point is not to bring me business. The point is to showcase the client and their progress and stuff. So that's the medal system. Medal. So like the ranking, the awards, whatever. I'm going to skip deep focus. So we got a 3-topic structure. So I'm kind of doing that on this episode, and I think I ought to do that from here on out. Much easier said than done because, again, this podcast is not meant to be professional, high quality, organized. It's not supposed to be anything other than, hey, this is what happened today. I learned this. See you tomorrow. It really is supposed to be that way. So I'm willing to bet that the quality, quote unquote quality of this show will drop significantly the more and more shit I got going on. And well, maybe because I would like to delegate this out to somebody else. So if I can record this, send it to somebody else, they can do all the audio bullshits, outro, intro, and then I just write about it. But then they upload it, they handle it, they schedule it. I don't even know how much that would cost, but that would just buy back some of my time. So it doesn't take that much time. I mean, for example, this podcast right now is about 17 minutes total. And then we've got the writing and then the putting in the software to put the intro, outro. So it's probably a half hour worth of work at the moment. And I can do all of this while I'm doing other things. Like sometimes I do in the ice bath. Sometimes I do it while I'm driving. Shit, I actually did it at work one day. And so I can do this while I'm doing other things. But again, it's just one of those things that's slightly easier said than done. So anyway, I'm just brainstorming right now. But yeah, so I want to have a 3-topic structure where I have just 3 topics I want to talk about. So like, for example, we got 75 hard guy today, medals idea, and then the 3-topic structure. And I got 3 more actually I'm going to talk about. So this is a 6th topic, but this is just so I'm going to talk about one more thing. This might be a longer podcast than I thought. Hold on. So, yeah, and I feel like the show's flowing a little bit better now that I have things I'm talking about and I know what I'm going to say. So perhaps the quality of the show increases, even though that's not even the goal. Like I said, the purpose of this, listen to the goddamn outro. This is not supposed to be professional. It's not supposed to be high quality. It's not supposed to be super long. It's not supposed to be a super nice, informative, entertaining sit-down podcast. Literally, it's like, hey guys, here's a sales call that I did from 2 days ago. I bombed it, but I'm learning. Also, pre-workout's coming in the mail next Monday. Hyped, we got blueberry flavor. Cool. This is hard, but I like it. So see you next time. That's really what it is. Like I say this all the time, but every episode is supposed to be no longer than 3 minutes. I mean, so we're not even following the whole. I don't know, man. So I'm sure this will change once I get other podcasts going because I fully intend to. I'm going to talk about that today too. So anyway, that's 3-topic structure. And then here's just a really quick idea that I had. So sometimes when I start the show, I have bloopers where I'll start and I'll just forget what I'm saying. And rather than keeping it in, like I always said I would, I want to keep it in but put it towards the end. So the show starts with some flow and gets straight to the point. But at the very end, after the outro, you can still listen to all the bloopers and stuff. So that's an idea. Don't know if I'll follow through with it. But and I want to say, so when I screw up, I'm going to say half the time I keep it in. The other half, I just delete it because they're not really, I'm just being funny. Like I'll start the show off. I'm like, what the fuck's up, beach it? You know, or something like that. And I don't want to start the show off that way, but I'm just being funny because I go back and listen to it. It makes me laugh. Like I'm so good at making myself laugh. I don't need nobody. So anyway, that's the bloopers. So here's the other thing. It might go on a little bit longer than I'd like, but so we all know, well, like 5 people know, but so there's another podcast that I want to launch. It's called Your New Norm. And that would focus on the, I guess, pursuit in business and entrepreneurship, in self-discipline and personal excellence. That would focus on that. Because for me, the life that I live is not like much anybody else's. For example, I don't say this to like, this is not sad, but it's truth. Because like I've got one or two friends that I would want to call up and be like, hey, you want to hang out? I've got like family. I love my family to death, but I always refuse every invite. Most of the time I will say, and it's not like, oh, fuck you guys. It's more like, hey, thank you for thinking of me. I really appreciate that. However, I'm going to spend my time working on my shit because time is of the essence here. Anyway, there's that. So like I have the lack of friends, the lack of my choice, family, association, and like partying, doing quote unquote fun things on the weekend. And I work 3 jobs. You know, I think I said average it out with all the drive time and stuff. It's almost, see, what was it? It was almost 63 hours or something like that. Average per week. Something like that. I don't know. So I have that. And then I got this podcast I'm working on a pre-workout supplement at the moment. And then we've got this coaching bundle that I'm actively pursuing. I mean, even talking about this, we're hitting the gym 5 days a week. We're on a cut. We're making a video docu-series kind of thingy for the people who sign up for the program, writing little journal prompts, if you will, for that, so that every single person who gets the program has a live buddy with them. Well, I wouldn't say live, just a recorded video and a little, I don't know, message for each day. And then a whole bunch of other miscellaneous shit, like the protein, the water, the ice bath, all that stuff. So I got a lot going on, but that's my life. That's my norm, right? So that Your New Norm podcast would focus on what it is or what's required to, see, I'm still unsure, but it would be what's required to pursue whatever you're trying to pursue as, I guess, as hardcore as you could. And that's coming from somebody. God damn, dude, can I quit burping mid-show? Why is it always mid-show? Fuck. So the idea is to kind of talk about that, talk about societal norms and why they don't apply to people with big ambition, you know, talk about it. Honestly, it's just a controversial show, honestly, because there's a lot of things in the world that apply to a lot of people. But if you just step outside the mold, you really just see and notice that a lot of these things that are laid out before you, they don't apply to you. Not in like, oh, you're superior and you're greater than, or you're whatever. Not like that at all. But it's just like, if your goal is to, I don't know, man, if your goal is to build a business, there's a lot of things that don't apply. There's a lot of things like work-life balance at the moment that don't apply. There's a lot of things like saving money for retirement or whatever. Like, dude, if you're just so cocksure in yourself that you're going to make it, I would argue you don't need a retirement. I would argue that you should use that money now. That's just, you know. Also, one perspective of that is if I bail on a retirement now and I actually end up quitting my jobs in 5 years from now, that's only 5 years worth of retirement that I would have made anyway. So it wouldn't have been the full 40, 50 years retirement savings, whatever, because I wouldn't be getting that with being self-employed, or at least that wouldn't be the goal. And that's how ignorant I am, because I don't even know the avenues of that. So anyway, you can go listen to the opting out of retirement episode. I don't know which one that is, but yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna make it. I don't need that. So that's like, that sounds so cocky to say out loud, but if you believe in yourself so hard, like you give up or you die. Those are the only ways you don't succeed. You give up or you fucking die. So I don't plan on dying. I don't plan on giving up. So it's just a matter of time. So put my seatbelt on and I'm rolling with it. So anyway, holy shit. So that's the kind of the idea with that podcast. That's Your New Norm. So I plan on doing that, but I'm kind of unsure the direction I want to take. Because, for example, I can think of like 10 topics. So that's 10 episodes. Then after that, I'm like, dude, I don't even know what to talk about. I just repeat myself, I guess. And that's just me being naive. That's just me, you know, kind of, I guess, procrastinating a little bit. So I'll just call it what it is. But because that would be the video podcast. That would be what I upload to YouTube. That would where I get clips from. But then I'm thinking, okay, well, let's take a step back. What am I doing? And that is fitness coaching again, right? So if I'm trying to attract fitness clients, I'm not going to be posting about all these different things and societal norms and how you can do this and your new norm as far as pursuing business. I'm not going to be posting about that stuff. Because if somebody's coming to me to lose weight or gain muscle, they're not going to care about like my retirement plan. Who gives a fuck? So it's like, okay, well, should I just have 2 Instagram accounts then? And the one that everybody has now with 100 followers, that would be just business and this podcast and stuff. Or would it all be one, So I think the answer to that is I'm going to have 2 Instagram accounts. The second one would be the fitness one, or focused on coaching. So that'd be my business podcast, my business account. So that would be where I message people. That would be where I post fitness stuff and the testimonials and the transformations and blah, 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 all that stuff. This one that I have now, I might even make it private and just keep it with, who knows, bro? I have no idea. So with the fitness, so here's the idea. So I have a fitness podcast idea where I would make 2 podcasts per week, or maybe we'll just say 1 for ease, we'll say 1. So I make 1 fitness podcast. That one's video. That one's recorded for YouTube. Fuck is that noise, dude? House is haunted. It straight up is. So I'd have the fitness podcast. I do that once a week, and that might be an hour long, where I would just dive into, different methods to lose weight, go over things like what is the Atkinson's diet, what is the keto diet, and go into because a lot of, that's just an example, just different topics, right? How to lose weight, what's this, the best method for this, best method, because out of all the topics in the world, I think I can say with confidence, which is, is that a paradox? I think I can say with confidence. I don't know. I can say with confidence that I know more about fitness and nutrition and supplementation and stuff like that, opposed to any other topic. So I feel confident that I could dive deep on a lot of different things and provide a lot of value. Not only would I have the podcast, though, I would have free worksheets or free guides or whatever that they could download with each episode. So with each episode, they'd get some sort of free piece of information like they can download or they can have, or like a free workout or how to design your entire program, how to track your macro kind of thing. Just every single podcast I do, they would get something for free. So even if the podcast sucks, they would at least be getting something for free, spending 30 seconds just by going to the link in the description, clicking that, downloading it, and having it for themselves. And the idea with that is to build goodwill in the marketplace. That's something I'm learning from Alex Hormozi. So just give everything away for free, make my free shit better than other people's paid shit. And then I build goodwill, I build the trust. People see me, associate the good shit with me, and they want to buy the actual premium product. So that's a work in progress. That's going to take time. And I like doing this. So if I make $0 from it, then so be it. So the fitness podcast would be that. That would also be video recorded. That would be posted on YouTube, all that stuff. And the idea for that is for social media. So let's say the podcast is 30 minutes long. If I get just 5 clips from the podcast from me talking, and I can repurpose that for social media, that's 5 Instagram posts per week that I can use that with. Now, obviously, I don't want every single post to be the same exact, but I could do like a repeating cycle. So post 1 is a clip from the podcast. Post 2 is a something. Post 3 is a free giveaway or something like that. I just want to give so much shit away for free. That's the idea. So just for ease of imagination, imagine Instagram, you have the 3 columns for posts, right? Some people organize it so it's nice. So the left column would be the free shit. So it would just say free, whatever this, blah, blah, blah. Go to this link, download it for free. I don't even want your email, click it. It's yours. And then the second one would be like, some quote from me or something that I thought about or whatever, like quotes from this show. I don't know. And the third one would be a video clip from the fitness podcast. So that would be the social media layout. So that would allow me to batch social media content, and that would allow me to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and also get my face out there in the marketplace as far as fitness coaching goes, and allow me to get on YouTube with video, and allow me to, so it's just kind of I don't know, what do they call it? A catch-all? I don't know. So that's kind of the idea there with the fitness podcast. And if I were to do that twice a week and they're both 1 hour long, then I could probably get 5 to 10 clips from each, right? So that's about 20 clips per week, 10 to 20 clips per week for social media purposes. Now I would only need 3 to 4 if I'm gonna follow that schedule of posting. So I would always just have a shit ton of clips on deck. And fortunately for me, I'm experienced in Adobe Premiere and stuff like that. So I could just post the video into the software editing that I use, which is Adobe Premiere. And then I could easily get clips from that, edit it, repurpose it, because I'm experienced in that area well enough to do this without having to pay somebody. So doing that, I get more social media content. I and I could put it on YouTube Shorts. Like I could just repurpose it everywhere. So anyway, that's that. So I would just have a shit ton of content on deck. So that's the idea with the fitness podcast. Also, I feel like I know more about that than any other topic in my life. So it would come a little bit more natural for me. And also I would definitely learn more, because if I'm going to be posting and teaching and educating, I'm going to want to know my shit even more than I do now. So probably dive more into that. So anyway, that being said, I have one last topic. So, and that's the recipe, Fiverr. Because if you don't know what Fiverr is, talked about it before, but it's a website where you can go and hire freelancers to do work for you. And one of my ideas with the giant recipe book to include in the program, and I want to sorry, let's click this up. I want to make this I want this to hit as I intend it to. So it wouldn't just be a recipe book. It wouldn't have, I don't know, spaghetti, and it would say cook the pasta, cook the meat, combine, add the sauce. It wouldn't, and that's it. It wouldn't be that. What it would be, it would have, spaghetti and meatballs, whatever. How to prepare the meatballs, how to prepare the pasta, how to combine, how long to cook for, which kitchen utensils do you need, etc. And that would have the serving size for just you want to have dinner for you and your family. So it would have that, how to cook it there. And then it would have the version of meal prep. So if you want to make that for 7 meals per week, then this is how you do it differently. Because when you expand the volume of the food, the kitchen utensils you use vary. So instead of using a skillet or a pot or a pan, you might have to use baking sheets and then use the oven to cover the amount of food. And then from there, there's a whole other addition to the process, which is putting that stuff in meal prep containers, weighing it out, how to do all that, how to account for the added weight, when you're measuring your pasta, or how to account for the added this or added that. And it would have, it would just be so elaborate and so detailed with each thing that you might need, and so well organized that it would just be absolutely incredible when it's all said and done. So again, instead of spaghetti, meatballs, a photo, whatever, prepare the pasta, cook the pasta, whatever, prepare the meatballs, cook the meatballs, combine, add sauce, mix. It would have step-by-step how to prepare the pasta, because this is going to be this is focused on people who don't know shit about cooking, myself, don't know the best and most optimal methods of cooking and the fastest ways to prepare the meal, because I don't like spending any longer than about 3 minutes in the kitchen preparing food. So if I knew how long it was going to take, and if I could prepare the food the fastest way possible, like for example, while the potatoes are cooking, I start cutting the onions, and I start cutting the peppers, and I start cutting the whatever, as opposed to being so ignorant to how the thing works that I start cutting first, and then that's all done. Then I put the potatoes in the oven, and then I'm sitting there with my dick in my hands for 40 minutes, I'm going to get canceled for saying that, but just a way of saying like I'm bored, I don't know what I'm doing, just kind of hanging out. So it would be laid out in a way that has all that. Anyway, so it'd be super detailed, have how to do this, how to do that, how to do this, why we're doing this, because it's like, hey, you're gonna chop the onions this way. It's like, dude, why? Why can't I just put a strip in there? I like knowing whys. I like having logical explanations as to why things are the way they are. I like knowing that shit. So that would give me peace of mind, or an ease of mind, peace of mind, who gives a shit, and I could just move on with the recipe. And then that's not even all, dude. So you add all that into the page. So maybe the left page is how to do it for one meal. The right side of the page, or the book, whatever, is how to do it for meal prep. So below all that, you'd have the ingredients for everything. You would have the amounts, and then you might have, it's kind of hard to do this because everyone lives in a different place, but the approximate price of the food, so you can get an idea of how much it would cost you to prepare that meal, for how many people you're serving it to. And then below that, it would have all the macros, all the calories, sodium, cholesterol, sugars, fibers, protein, carbs, fats, calories, all that shit. Have that below so you could see, okay, I'm going to make this spaghetti meatball thing. Once I'm all done, I'm going to have 2 servings, and each serving has this many calories, blah, 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 and it has everything that you need to know right then and there. And even then, that's not all. From there, it would have a little QR code or something like you could scan. It would take you to for example, MyFitnessPal, where you could quickly log that meal, because in MyFitnessPal, you can create your own recipes and you can share them with others. So with that QR code, I can make that public so anybody could use it. But for the people using that book, they get the exact same macronutrient profile at ease. They don't have to make it themselves. They don't have to track it. They just go beep, scan, add, 1 serving, done. That's it. So we have all that. We have the macros, the kitchen utensils required, the ingredients, the approximate price, all that, right? Just incredible. Like, we have all of that information. And to those people out there who are listening, who are they know what they're doing with cooking, they're probably listening to this and they're like, dude, are you selling to 4-year-olds? And it's like, dude, for me in the kitchen, I'm 4 years old, don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to know. I want to have that shit done for me. So if I can have it all laid out before me, step by step, then I'm going to do that. I would pay oodles of money to have step-by-step optimized process, approximate pricing, the cost of all the groceries or whatever. And then if I were to do another recipe, how much would that cost? Because if you buy 1 bag of cheese, you might be able to use that same bag for 4 different meals, whatever. And that's also a way to kind of interject other people's products. Like there's Feast Mode out there. There's, Spice God? I don't know. Then you have like kitchenware suppliers, and you have things like, I don't know. And the other thing that I want to add, and this is where it gets a lot more complex and it just takes up so much space on a page, but it's like, okay, so you have meatballs, pasta, and you have, sauce. What if you actually use turkey meatballs instead of whatever? Then I'd have a variation and have all the listings, blah, blah, blah. Or actually, what if I want to use high protein noodles? Then I'd have a variation, have the listing, So right there, you have 3 different options to choose from with 1 meal. And it's just so much information. But the key here, because I said a lot of things right there, the key would be have it all organized into one thing, and to have it all very easily readable, easily understandable, well organized so it's not overwhelming, and it would just have to make sense. So that's a whole other thing in and of itself. So we'll have to figure that out when we get there. But I say all that because I was like, dude, that's not my expertise, I don't know shit about that stuff. So it would be really hard for me to create something like that and know what I'm talking about. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to hire somebody to do this, or just get help from other people. And I have had some help offered to make these recipes, so that's great. But I'm looking to do this on a massive scale of like 100 recipes. And I got toast and eggs. I got some yogurt. I can do some pancakes. I can do those. Everything else, dude, I mean, if I had made a recipe based on my knowledge and I put it out there, I can't say that I would be confident that someone might like it, because I don't really, of course I want my food to taste good, but I've always been more of a, like, I need this fuel in my body. If it tastes like ass, that sucks. I'd rather it not, but it is what it is. Same with pre-workout. Like I got this pre-workout right here, and it's not the greatest tasting, but I would buy this over and over because it's the exact formula that I want. So I would drink it all the time, and it's not the best tasting, but I don't care. So, but not everybody's like that, and I get that. So anyway, I'm looking at Fiverr. It's a long way of saying I'm on Fiverr. So if I go to Fiverr, I found first one. I just typed in recipe. So this person, Asher W, shout out to you. I don't know if you're good or bad, but I will write recipe cookbooks for Kindle, Amazon, recipe blogs, high protein, KDP. I don't know what that is, and then ebook. So $50. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, so my bad. So Asher. I know one guy named Asher. He's a guy. So I'm going to say this guy is a guy. So he will make 50 recipes, prep, cooking time. No, he'll make 50 recipes, the prep and the cooking time, ingredients, directions, serving size, nutritional info, and then 15 photos. So I think that's 15 photos total. And it's $50. That's a fucking steal. So, but if I go to the premium version here, it's 200 recipes, basic and standard inclusion, 30-day meal plan, 50 free photos, recipe index, and I think it's everything with basic and standard. And I don't want the meal plan. So anyway, so that one's 170. And again, 200 recipes for 170 bucks. It's less than $1 or more, a little bit more than $1 a recipe, dude. Less than $1 for a recipe. That's a fucking steal, dude. That's what I'm saying, bro. I used to see stuff like this and I'm like, who's paying 170 bucks for recipes? You can just Google that shit. But it's like, nah, dude. That's saving me so much time. It would probably take me an hour to make a recipe the way that I want it to make it. And this guy's doing it, looks like in 21 days. You know? That's 21 days of work I don't got to do. Dude, that's fucking sick. So let the delegation begin, huh? But this is just one person. So let's look at another person real quick. So that's Asher W. We got 5 orders in queue. So there's this person. So there's Elijah Ryder. Nice. So there's 3 orders in her queue. She got 92 reviews. She got a 4.5 star review. So this one is basic high quality 20 food recipe with stock photos. See, I don't really like the stock photos thing because I would like it to look how she prepared it. See, I don't like the stock photos thing. So right there, I'm already out. I like it to be authentic photos. But so her premium is 150. High quality 50 food recipes. So 150 for 50 food recipes. That one I feel like is more customized to, I don't know. I'm gonna go to this next one. So we got, I will create a custom recipe book, cookbook, and ebook. Dyson Gray, he's got nothing but 5-star reviews, so good for him. So this guy's probably the real deal. So this guy says, 20 recipes collection, logo, contacts, calories, macros, ingredients, picture, 4-day delivery. So it takes 4 days to get 20 recipes. And I'm looking at the photos here, and it looks great. These have got to be stock photos, or he's just a legend. Well, it might be his photos because the countertop and all these is the same exact. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at the picture. Yeah, so anyway, that's basic. So if I go to premium, it's $200, 100 recipes, get the logo, the contacts. I don't know what contacts means. Calories, macros, ingredients, pictures, 6-day delivery, up to 16,000 words. And if I had to guess, there's going to be 500 words per, I don't know, I'm going to have to pay extra for that. So if you read, so I'm going on way too long about this Fiverr shit, but you have a professional highly might can think of an effective one, or maybe you just want to boost your nutrition game and you need one. Every recipe collection is fully customized with your logo and your contacts. Oh, my contacts. Dude, what a dummy. My bad. Here I am trying to make $1 million and I don't even know what contacts means. Jesus. Every recipe in the product of the comes with professional picture, a list of the ingredients, the preparation, the calories, macros, and even micronutrients. See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Give me all the information I can. And I'm kind of stepping out of my own head here because I don't give a fuck about the macros necessarily. I care about the protein, carbs, fats. And lately I've been caring a lot more about sugars and stuff like that. Oh, and fibers. But anyway. So this guy's the real deal. So he does all of this, you know, but here's where I got to be careful. There's a good chance these guys just kind of repurpose all their recipes and they just sell it with their own. They kind of do the branding, right? So they have the recipes already. They just brand it to be mine. So that's probably what a lot of people do. But I'm trying to find, like, if, for example, if I could message one of these guys and say, hey, I need 10 chicken recipes, 10 beef recipes, 10 breakfast recipes, 10 pancake recipes, 10 blah, 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 and just go down the list. And then they give me that. That's what I'm looking for. And then I could be like, okay, so now that we have 100 recipes, now that we have 50 recipes, can you actually repurpose all of these into meal prep and the amount you need for the meal prep and how much the cooking or the kitchen utensils you need for that, blah, blah, blah. And then he sends that to me and then I can look at it, change anything that I don't like or whatever, and then it'd be good. I'm sure that I could also run some Excel scripts or run some chat GPT shit and be like, hey, replace every time he says thwarts with another word. Because I don't say thwarts. The fuck is that? So anyway, that's it for this show. So we talked about the 75 hard guy, the metals idea, the 3-topic structure of the show, which we definitely hit on about 30 today. The bloopers at the end of the show, the fitness podcast idea, and the Your New Norm podcast. And then the 1 hour, and then the I said repurpose 38 times in the show, but the repurposing of the content from the fitness podcast to YouTube Shorts, to social media, to Instagram, etc. And then the recipe book on Fiverr. because I'm trying to make this offer the most valuable offer that I possibly can. Because I know a lot of people do similar things, but I'm OCD. I pay attention to so many small little details, and there's a lot of processes and shit that people overlook. And I'm trying my best to not overlook any single process that I can. For example, anything that comes from me, it's like detailed. This is what it is. This is why we're doing it. This is how come. And we're going to do this because of this, and how come this and why that. It's not just, okay, cook the pasta. That's it. Like, fuck that, bro. Like, why am I cooking it this way? What's the added benefit if I do it that way? If I don't add this, is it the end of the world? Because it seems like that's pointless. So help me understand why that is. Why do I have to do this first? Like, give me some fucking information, you know? Throw me a bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info. So, anyway, that's the show. I don't know what to call this one. We'll call it all sorts of shit. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for listening. And quick reminder here. So this podcast doesn't prioritize professionalism or quality at all. It's just meant to be a shoot from the hip type podcast with the intent just to get a quick message out. So some episodes might be inaudible in 30 seconds and others might be 45 minutes and super crisp sounding. So all these are being made so that by episode 7,305, which is 20 years, we can come back and see the entire playbook of how I made it to wherever I'm going. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.